Alright, now for Spider-Man 3. This is one a lot of people don't like, and I'm going to tell you what I thought of it. I didn't think it was that bad. It's not a good movie, but not too bad. Anyway, Spider-Man 3 is the sequel to Spider-Man 2, and apparently it's the highest grossing Spider-Man movie ever. Whatever. So basically it takes place a while after 2, where basically Peter and Mary Jane, they're in a relationship now, because, MJ likes Peter because he's Spider-Man now. And, MJ's kind of having this pressure because, she kind of got fired from her job on a Broadway show, and Peter, he's at the top of his game, everyone loves him as Spider-Man, MJ, for once, actually needs some kind of support given to her, and, she's actually doing a little more than just being there for Peter to chase, which she kind of is in this one, but she's a little better. That's something I'll give this movie credit for, is that MJ is at her best in this one. She's not as useless, but she's still kind of annoying later on. But, whatever. And, Peter starts, these problems arise because this weird alien symbiote thing crashes on Earth. And, it attaches itself to a Spider-Man suit, giving Peter, like, a second Spider-Man suit that's, like, black. And it makes him a lot more powerful in exchange for making him all kinds of violent and rowdy. That's Venom's suit, because later on this suit gets to this guy who Peter basically, quote-unquote, ruined his life by exposing a fake photo in the newspaper of him. And then he becomes Venom for some reason. And there's also the Sandman as a villain, who's actually the guy who killed Ben Parker, Peter's uncle. And he gets into this weird sand testing facility, and then he becomes the Sandman. I don't know. But he does kind of have some motivation in that, he actually has a daughter that he wants to support. Kind of like Scott Lang. Like, I imagine if Scott Lang was more violent and got into the situation, he'd probably be the Sandman. That's my guess, I guess, because they're kind of similar, actually. Well, Scott Lang never killed anyone, but whatever. And the point is, the villains, they're two villains, well, three-ish, because Harry Osborn has discovered that Peter's Spider-Man, and now he's kind of just using the Goblin stuff left over to be the new Goblin, basically. I believe that's what the movie calls him. And he's kind of just going after Peter a little bit also. So we have three-ish villains. Well, two-ish, kind of, because Harry's not really that much of a villain. But, that's kind of cluttered up, because again, I don't really think the villains, there were that many. Like, I kind of feel they should have just had either Sandman or Venom. And Harry, he could have just been there to be like an anti-hero or whatnot. Like, because it kind of felt messy, the whole thing. Like, the fights with Sandman are pretty cool. Like, I'll give this for Spider-Man 3. Great action scenes. Like, the action scenes are really good in this movie. Like, and there's a lot more kind of ish than 2, maybe, I don't know. And they're really cool. They're definitely the best part of this movie. Like, this movie, if I can say nothing else about it, it's got pretty good action scenes. I definitely watch the movie again just for the action scenes. They're really good. And, especially, like, the last ones. Those are pretty cool. And I love the fights against Sandman, too. Aside from that, something Spider-Man 3 really suffers from is really bad characters and writing. Like, the choices these characters make are really terrible. Like Harry makes MJ break up with Peter to break his heart so he's weak, or like threatening her or something, and like the dialogue between these two gets really stupid at times. Like, Peter wants to propose to MJ, and like he somehow messes up proposing when they're in like a fancy like French restaurant because MJ's depressed and then just leaves, and I'm like, these two are kind of idiots when it comes to being in a relationship. I don't even know if they should, because they make terrible choices. Like, I mean, like, when MJ gets fired, she's depressed, and all Peter needed to say was, I liked you, and that's what's important. But he just, I didn't even know. Like, that's obviously what you gotta say. Like, that's what I would say, but sorry for the interruption, and anyway, yeah, they should have just done that, and I would really understand the point of anything else with that. And again, some of the character interactions like MJ and Harry before all that stuff, it just feels weak and weird, and I don't like it, like, even before that. And it goes on way too long. Like, it makes up, like, the bulk of the like, middle of the movie, and I don't even know why they do that. But like, the beginning and the end of the movie, I say, are the best parts. Like, I mean, the beginning is really cool, we see the characters and, set up, there's a couple action scenes. Then the middle is almost entirely devoted to really poor character stuff that I really don't care about. And You know, the Venom suit stuff, it's cool and all, but honestly, this one scene where Peter just leaves it on and just becomes a jerk after MJ dumps him, and just, why? I don't get why they do that. The last scene, though, the last action scenes in the last half is actually pretty cool. Like, the villains kind of have a weak motivation. Well, Venom is the one with the weak motivation. Harry's kind of confused, and Sandman, I get him. But, you know, everything in the middle is kind of weak. They also bring in Gwen Stacy for this, for some reason. Because apparently Bryce Dallas Howard plays her, I don't know. Yeah. She's nothing compared to the Gwen Stacy in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. She's like Mary Jane, she's just there for Spider-Man to rescue her once and then cause rifts in their relationship because Peter, like, as Spider-Man, there's this festival and he allows Gwen to kiss him and intentionally annoys girlfriend. Like, I just facepalmed when that happened. Like, again, the terrible character stuff that's going on in this movie, I don't know why they do that. It's just annoying to watch at times. You know, aside from some really good action scenes and some okay moments with characters, it's not exactly that great. Like, you know, if you're gonna watch Spider-Man 3, I'd recommend, you know, just skip through the action scenes and stuff, because they're actually pretty good. Everything else in the middle is just kind of eh. I don't hate this movie, it's not awful, but again, it's kind of weak, you know, and, you know, kind of a drop-off from the other two movies, which are really good. I don't hate this movie, but, you know, could have been better. Whatever. It had some good moments in it, but ultimately, it's not a horrible movie, but it's not all that great. It's kind of just okay-ish. I'm just going to give Spider-Man 3 a 67%. It's not, you know, not being that harsh, and just gotta make sure and give me, like, you know, again, my equivalent, that equivalent of my grade scale is like a B minus area. Whatever, I don't care. And yeah, that's the Spider-Man trilogy. It's a great trilogy overall, and it was actually pretty cheap for this on Amazon a few days ago, so see if you can get it. I also want to mention that when I bought this thing, it has the first two movies, as well as the third one, and this special features disc for free. Yeah, I don't know why they had to split up, like, special features for 3 into 2 discs, but they did. I haven't actually watched it yet, though. I haven't watched the special features. I might do it one day, but whatever. It's a good deal for this thing. It was like $16 when I bought it. It was like Prime Day or something, I don't know. But whatever. So that's my review of Spider-Man 3, and I finished all my review of the Spider-Man trilogy. Great trilogy overall. Some really good superhero movies, and I'm very excited to see what they do with Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But then I'm going to review the Amazing movies. I've seen the first one, I haven't